Previously on Power Reviews. The good doctor has modified our camcorder with a ton of new bells and whistles.
Can you remember anything from before we met?
No, I do not need a co-host. I have a date! I have a publisher!
What?
You do not exist. Database Ranger? I'm an author. Two guys in suits chasing after you with guns. Guy!
We need to talk.
Ooh, we can work this out, right? You gotta help me.
Hi, database.
Thanks again for the ride.
That's for standing me up.
I have no shot at another date. Mayo.
We need to move.
What? And now, Database Rangers Power Review. Greetings, Ranger fans, and welcome to my panic.
What on?
They took her.
Who?
Mayo. They took Mayo.
The condiment?
What? No! The woman. The girl. The one who looks like you. They took her.
Who did?
I don't know. There was this guy. Well, there were two guys. Well, it was the same guy.
Was it this man?
That's him! They were there? They've been following me?
What do you know about them?
Nothing. I don't know. I know they were after me.
What are you talking about?
They had me. They trapped me. They tricked me. But I got away somehow.
How?
I don't know. But Guy was there.
The lodger.
Well, he moved out. But yes, it was him. You were right about him.
I'll save the gloating for later. How did they trap you?
They just called me in. Told me they were a publishing company. I thought it was my big break. The one who took Mayo, he dropped this. Right now, I don't care if you're real or imagined, or if the entire last 24 hours has been some deluded fever dream. All I care about is that she's safe. So I want you to do whatever it is that you do. Hack into whatever database you have to, and get me everything you can on these people. Because whoever they are, I'm going back there. I'm going to bring her back. And if you can help me do that, I will never question you again. So will you? Will you help me do that?
What did they say the name of their company was?
A to Z Publishing.
Give me 10 minutes.
But what do I...
Go! Review something. I'll let you know when I'm ready.
Okay. Greetings, Ranger fans, and welcome to Power Reviews. Wow, 20 years. Who would have ever thought on that fateful day of August 28th, 1993, that we would ever make it this far? Over 750 episodes aired around the world, massive toy sales, countless merchandising deals, 2 feature films, and honored through conventions, message boards, fan fiction, fan art, and even quirky little internet shows like mine. This is easily the biggest milestone in the history of the franchise, spanning over 2 seasons and ultimately culminating in the much talked about legendary battle next year. But it's far from the only milestone Power Rangers has seen. In 2007, Operation Overdrive celebrated the 15th season with the custom-picked team of veteran Rangers for Once a Ranger. And in 2002, Wild Force celebrated the 10th season by assembling over a dozen special guest stars for Forever Red. But today, I would like to take a look at a much quieter milestone, the 500th episode, celebrated through the 2004 retrospective that was Episode 4 of Power Rangers Dino Thunder, Legacy of Power. We start with introducing our core cast, airheaded soccer star and Red Ranger Connor, snarky prankster computer whiz and Blue Ranger Ethan, and forcefully independent musician Kira, our Yellow Ranger. They use the power of the Dino Gems to face off against the sinister Saurian mastermind Mesogog and his minion Elsa, while Ditsy duo Cassidy and Devin provide comedy relief, and the legendary Tommy Oliver returns to the show as their high-kicking mentor. Somehow, now with a teaching certificate and a paleontology degree, despite being Angel Grove High School class of 97 and teaching the Reefside High School class of 04. Anywho, the Dino Thunder Rangers themselves are backed up by an arsenal that includes the rarely used Raptor Riders, a host of new dinosaurs from all over the Mesozoic era, and a set of spiffy new civilian powers like super speed, armor, and sonic screams. And most oddly of all, a theme song without a single mention of the word go. That title card does make me feel warm and fuzzy inside. The episode opens with Mesogog engaging in a psychic staring match with a rock, while cyborg warrior Zeltrax and the mass-produced Tyrannodrones bring in their latest captive, Dr. Thomas Oliver. Dino Dude explains that the stone contains a power source, and demands that the good doctor help him get it out.
Sorry, can't help you there. I'm just a high school science teacher.
Really? A high school science teacher? Who just happens to have taught 3 brats to become Power Rangers.
And got his doctorate and teaching certificate in only 6 years, while also working as a researcher to develop experimental dino cyborgs, coordinating a massive ranger assault on the moon, and being a naturally skilled professional grade race car driver. You've been a very busy man, Dr. Oliver. Back at the secret cave base underneath his house. What, doesn't every science teacher have one of those? The 3 Rangers are worried, since Dr. O not only missed Kira's gig on Friday, but a whole day of school as well. And considering Mesogog's proclivities for punishment, I really don't think I want to know how he spent those last 3 days. Deeming this a state of emergency, Ethan starts hacking into Dr. O's computer, and finds a lot more than he bargained for.
What you're about to see is a history of my life.
More dinosaur bone stories. Yawn.
My history as a Power Ranger.
Okay, onion.
I have no idea how someone does that. He dives right into explaining Trini, Zach, Kimberly, Billy, and Jason's introduction in Day of the Dumpster, his own intro as the evil Green Ranger in Green with Evil, and his eventual freedom.
They helped me destroy the Power Sword.
Sword of Darkness, actually.
I soon discovered the Green Ranger powers were only temporary.
Well, technically, they weren't so much temporary as... You know what? Actually, just go watch my Missing Green review if you want the whole story, because I don't feel like going over this again. So they make it up to his descent from on high as the new White Ranger, before his awestruck students need to pause and process.
Our teacher is the oldest living Power Ranger.
Oldest living Power Ranger? Connor, is there something that you know that we don't? Suddenly, they're blindsided again with another surprise twist.
Haley?
For reference, to Ethan, this would be like Ernie walking into the command center and telling Billy that he and Zordon go way back. Turns out that Haley is the true technical genius behind the Dino Morphers, and comes bearing security footage from her cyber cafe of Tommy's kidnapping. Realizing that they're not aware of his retirement from Rangerdom, she cues up some more clips.
Lord Zed was destroying Earth.
Technically, that was the deserted planet. Zed was never actually able to recharge Serpentera's batteries for long enough to take out Earth. He recaps the transfer of power to Rocky, Adam, and Aisha, then skips ahead to Ninja Quest, Catherine's arrival, and Kimberly's departure.
Catherine assumed the Pink Ranger power, and just in time. We were under attack.
Yeah, he just skipped about 18 episodes of major plot development there. If you want to know the details, just go watch the first 30 seconds of Linkara's DT History of the Power Rangers. Anywho, he fast forwards through Zeo and Jason's return as the Gold Ranger, completely ignoring tiny little details like Tanya, Trey, and the entire conflict with the Machine Empire. They quickly move on to Graduation and the Turbo movie because, well, in-canon movie is kind of a big deal. And of course...
Guys, I'm the new Blue Ranger.
Is that cool or what? And we wrap things up with passing the torch onto TJ, Cassie, Ashley, and Carlos, and Tommy's official retirement, which is where Haley picks up the story and explains how they met in college and found the Dino Gems. But obviously, we have no interest in ever getting further details on that story, and Ethan notes that they should probably stop watching home movies and get back to searching for their missing teacher. Turns out, Haley has been trying to access Mesogog's Invisiportal network this whole time, so she invites them to just sit back, relax, and run through some good old-fashioned Judd Lynn era PR. We relive the destruction of the power chamber, the chase into space, Andros' arrival from out of nowhere, Zane's revival, and then we just jump over to Terraventure. Yeah, this is about the point where they stop skipping small details and just forget about details entirely.
5 new heroes. Retrieve the Galaxy Sabers.
You mean the Quasar Sabers? Why do you have so much trouble with swords? Do you need them all to talk to you? They quickly run through the premiere and finale of Lost Galaxy and the basic premise of Lightspeed Rescue, along with a shout out to American-only Titanium Ranger before Time Force catches their eye.
Power Rangers who came from the future?
Couldn't they take us back to the moment when Tommy was kidnapped?
What? So we can watch it happen all over again?
Yeah, Connor's not exactly the brightest shade of red. Unfortunately, the video diary appears to be seriously lacking in contact info, so it looks like they won't be able to tag the Time Force. And when Connor suggests they recruit a bunch of veteran rangers to help search for Tommy, Haley shows him some Wild Force footage, and that shuts him up real quick. Oddly enough, Cole is the only ranger here that we don't see unmorphed, despite being the only Wild Force ranger that Tommy has actually met face to face. But it's not like this is a personal video diary of his life, right? During all of this, Haley has been having some serious issue with Mesogog's firewall, while the big bad lizard man himself has continued torturing Tommy by ranting about his motivations.
Once I access the power in this rock, my dream of returning the planet to its prehistoric roots will be a mere formality.
Why can't you just want to rule the Earth like all the other sickos?
Shh! Don't stifle his creativity. It's teachers like that that lead to seasons like Samurai. And speaking of random reappropriation of Japanese culture, Connor remembers his cameo, his twin brother Eric's cameo from the previous season, and prompts Haley to look into Power Rangers Ninja Storm, actually taking the time to establish all 6 Rangers and how they defeated Lothor. It's almost as if this would become relevant later in the season. Connor starts demonstrating some amateur ninja kicks, and instead of destroying the server, he somehow manages to help it bust through Mesogog's firewall and access his Invisiportal network. Because that's how computers work. The final clip plays with Tommy assuring the viewer that the world will be safe in the hands of the 3 new Dino Rangers. Honored and humbled by his blind faith in them, the teens prepare to head out and rescue their teacher from the clutches of Mesogog. And that's the end of the episode. So, what did I think of it? Well, this may seem like faint praise, but it's probably the best clip show that PR has ever done. It's far from perfect, as a number of details are obviously off, and many events are entirely glossed over, but it does act as the most comprehensive history of the series I've ever seen, crammed into 22 minutes. It also avoids many of the typical clip show pitfalls. All of the information is new to the characters receiving it, and the commentary is effective and comedic, and the clips remain focused and on topic, instead of getting bogged down with flashy action sequences. And most importantly, it feels like a relevant and necessary episode that furthers the plot and our understanding of the characters. Haley is revealed to be far more than just the proprietor of the local hangout spot. Mesogog's motivations are shown to be a bit more complex than the average villains, and most prominently, Tommy's past is established for both the Rangers and for new audiences, while simultaneously setting up the circumstances for his return to action in the upcoming follow-up episode. Of course, there are a few pretty obvious flaws in the premise, like the existence of the clips themselves, and why Tommy would allow his personal records to play out so easily. But these are easily hand-waved, when you realize that he spent much of his teenage years with access to the viewing globe technology, and his often mocked spotty memory would suggest that his security measures probably aren't the best. Plus, it's not like he's the only mentor to utilize a questionably easy-to-access video record of Ranger identities.
I heard that.
Overall, this is an effective and affectionate retrospective that does a great job maintaining its own identity, and progressing its own story and characters, which is something that can actually be said for much of Dino Thunder as a whole. So, I guess the last thing I want to say is, Happy birthday, Power Rangers. Thank you for 20 years of memories. They pretty much my only memories, but I am grateful for them. And I will need them to inspire me and to strengthen me for what's coming next. You ready?
Are you?
I've got 20 years of Power Rangers running through my brain right now. What do you think?
I think I'm counting on your obsessive attention to minutia to apply to more than just television and pop media, because there is no room for error in this.
Tell me what I need to know.
I've created a partial map of the internals of the facility using city records and the footage transmitted by the Selective Quantum Utility Electronic Eye Line and its internal GPS.
Wait, you're saying that the squee...
The Selective Quantum Utility Electronic Eye Line.
Right, whatever. You're saying that it was following me the whole time I was in there?
Indeed.
Does that mean you know how I escaped?
Unfortunately, no. There appears to have been some sort of power surge during that time which corrupted the footage. I'm running it through a compiler now, but even if I'm able to get it back, the video and audio are likely to be distorted. Whatever happened before, I wouldn't count on it happening again.
Alright.
First of all, we're going to need to find you a suit. And some sunglasses.
Well, I do have a jacket from the last time I made fun of the Nickelodeon studio executives. But I think I know where I can find the rest. Might not fit, though.
That's fine. It may help disguise your build. They might be expecting you, and I would rather not make this easy for them.
Were you able to figure out who they are?
I knew the moment you handed me the badge. They have many names and many faces, but there's one you may be familiar with. Database? You're about to walk directly into the heart of alphabet soup.
What?